Gone are the days where intellectual works of musical artists, actors, and creatives may be reproduced, performed, or shared across social media without reference to the owner. Now, with the new Copyright Act of 2022, signed by former President Muhammadu Buhari on the 17th of March this year, it addresses this deficiency. Now, the new Act, Copyright Act 2022, is aimed at protecting the rights of authors to ensure rewards and recognition for their intellectual efforts, facilitate Nigeria's compliance with international copyright treaties, and enhance Nigeria Copyright Commission's ability to effectively ensure enforcement and compliance of persons and entities with the provisions of the Act. So that's the crux of our discussion next. Joining us in the studio is a CEO of the Musical Copyright Society Nigeria Limited, Mayo Ayilaran. It's nice to have you join us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Great. Now, this is something Nigerians have been looking forward to for so many years, because you travel to to the Western countries, you dare not do certain things, but when you come here, because it looks like there's too much freedom here, you can do anything and go. But talk to us about this Copyright Act as signed by former president. What makes it different? What makes it unique?
Actually, the copyright law or copyright protection has always been there, but the depth is what we have now.
Okay.
This one has more depth than the one
we've always had.
Yes, because there are now clear provisions on what constitutes infringement and what constitutes a criminal offense and the level of liabilities that can be faced by anybody who infringes copyright. So what the president, what the new law has really done is to really give the creators a wide leverage on how they control their works. Then secondly, given the institutional support, we have that now in place. So the Nigerian Copyright Commission, for instance, can boldly go out to support the protection of all these intellectual rights. So that is the depth that we have. Of course, there have been precedents laid, which the law has also reinforced. There have been decisions of the Federal High Court, decisions of the Court of Appeal, and decisions of the Supreme Court that have now been more elaborated in this new Copyright Act. Yes.
Talk to us about that level of enforcement. You spoke about the courts, the dichotomy now, and beginning from the Federal High Court up to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Help us to better understand, because somebody may be watching with a possible case of infringement, and people say, should I run to the courts, and how soon will I get justice? But clarify that point for us.
Yes, the moment somebody infringes your copyright, maybe playing it in public without your permission, or reproducing it, recording it. For instance, many people just go on Facebook, on WhatsApp, they put Sonade music, as a background to their whatever they are celebrating, then they throw it to the public. The owner of such works can easily apply to the Federal High Court, for instance, to even stop Facebook. And those provisions are there in the new Copyright Act, that when you go online to infringe copyright, then there is a notice given to the owner of the platform to take down those offending contents. So when all these things are there and they refuse to carry it out, you apply to the Federal High Court to take preemptive action. It is clear in the law that once you come with an affidavit that your right is likely to be infringed or it is being infringed, without giving notice to the other party, the Federal High Court will give you the interim order shut down that and prevent further infringement before you now start on the compensation side of it. That is, which may end in you earning huge damages. So these are some of the things you can get. Then as you go on the civil lane, as a private person, you can go on the civil lane to enforce these rights. You can apply also to the Nigerian Copyright Commission to start criminal prosecution. So this will go hand in hand. Yes, simultaneously, to bring down a recalcitrant infringer to its knees.
Right, this looks more ideal than practical, maybe, but you're here, thank God you're here to enlighten us, because the point there is, an artist who, produces a song, whatever the thing is, would like what they call, would like to blow.
Yes.
Yes. You want to be out there. You want to be everywhere. You want to be passing and people are singing your songs. You want to be, your name is everywhere. Your pictures are all over the place. Your, TV, radio, and all of that playing you want to be out there.
Yes.
So how do we reconcile the want of wanting to be out there, and then anybody who uses my song has to take permission from me, and if you don't get the permission from me, I can sue you and you pay me. Reconcile that for us.
Yes. The fact there is that there is a gap between the knowledge of copyright, of protecting your rights, and the need to get noticed or to get known. That is the need to blow.
Right.
So that is why.
I like the way you use it. The need to blow.
Yes. So you see many of the young artists at the initial stage, they want to get to the limelight, to be seen, to be known, to be heard. But underlining it, when they started to realize that they are getting noticed and so on, and their popularity is not being matched by what is in their pocket, money-wise, then they started to get conscious. How do I get money to sustain my huge...
The fame, the clout that
so
got.
that brings in the copyright aspect or the protection aspect. Yes, they can get good endorsement, they can get money, but then they are not up there for life. They are only there for a limited period of time when their fame starts to dwindle. At that point, there must be something to fall back upon. They are no more regular on stage. People do not invite them to play for them, or even if at all they invite them to play, they won't pay them those huge amounts. So they fall back on copyright. So with this, once they start to get the knowledge, the information, which we try to bring to them, then they start to realize that, right from the beginning of my career, I should get protected. So you hardly find a situation where the artist will clash with an organization that is trying to protect their rights. We had that in the past, where some musicians will say, hey, they have stopped playing my music, and I didn't ask you to stop them. But now the situation has changed. So artists, creators, actors, everybody, they wanted their rights to be protected, especially in this digital age, where with the press of a button, your work is broadcast to billions of people across the world. So you want a reward for that. So the knowledge, once they get grasp of that knowledge, they fall in line and they support this kind of protection.
But in terms of, the willpower and, of course, the power to enforce.
Yes.
Again, you spoke earlier about, the regulatory agencies now having more power to enforce these laws. But look at the example you made about, Facebook or, some other social networking sites, for example. And even on our regular WhatsApping, messaging and all that, it has become pretty normal for people to send basic messages with audios of, popular songs,
Yes.
To make it more attractive. But you just said now that is an infringement.
Yes.
And even going online to Google an image, to get songs, of course, which is your own core jurisdiction. Now, people just do these things, consumers, that is, after all, it's our right to works, good works, to enjoy good music and all that, not knowing that there is an issue of infringement.
Yeah.
But how well do people even trigger? Because when you look at the laws, it's about how many months old now. But in terms of people that have, fallen on the wrong side of the law, called out, punished, fined, as the case may be, do we have that kind of result so far?
Yes, the door is always there. We are only building on it. There has been the foundation. The foundation has been laid. The most important thing is that what we target is the platform who is making this available. The first gate is the communications company that offer you the data. You buy data from them to enable you access this. So they make it possible for this infringement to take place. For example, the MTN of this world, the Airtel of this world,
The
the
service
Globacom
providers.
so the service providers, a lot of these things happen on their platforms, on their networks. So they are the first target to be licensed. So once this thing happened, then every other person is conscious that, okay, with my data, I'm paying, part of my data is going for copyright anyway. So this is what we are really looking at by way of enforcement and equity is redistribution of the income realized from the data platform by the telecommunications company,
All right.
subscription to the YouTube, subscription to any of. So there is a lot of money going on there, and those people, they set out quite huge amount of money to settle this.
All right, just in a few seconds before we go, the point there is, how does one get protected? Because you mentioned that in passing earlier, but this is important for maybe young artists that are just coming up, or anyone who has anything you want to protect. How do you get protected?
Yes, the law is very simple. Once your work is out there, you are protected by the law. But what is next is for those works to be recognized and notated in the books of the organizations like ourselves, like the Nigerian Copyright Commission, where you take your work to, you register it. And with us too, you register as members or affiliates.
So that gives you backing.
It gives you backing so that any money that is collected in your name could be traced back and given back to you. So because the information has to be provided by the owner of the work that, hey, I'm the owner of this work, and so on and so forth. Okay. But once it is out there, it is our responsibility to get it protected.
All right. That's the Copyright Society, or the copyright laws. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Mayowa Ilara, for coming on the program this morning. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
We will have to bring you back after a little while because there are so many other areas that we would like to enlighten Nigerians about. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Great.
Thank you.